Thank you for joining me once again. Now, today we talk about mapping, and this second part in the session we've been working on mapping. Quickly, we talk about how to calculate the range and everything that involves a domain in a given mapping. Let's consider these examples. One, the question says find the domain of f of x, a function, find the domain of f of x, that is a function such that x squared plus 6, a function of x squared plus 6, if the range of f is 6, 8, 9. To find the domain, always equate your function to the range. Yes. So which means, and you equate them one by one, since your to get your image, you have to map from the domain to the codomain, isn't it? So the same thing, all you have to do is write, okay, for the first one, you have x squared plus 6 can be equal to 6. Let me pick this 6 one, this particular one. That's the first one, and that is it here. So you go again. So if you do this, you're going to be having your x squared to be equal to 6 minus 6. Then we have x squared to be equal to 0. And what does that imply? That implies that x, we take the square root of 0 is still 0, is equal to 0. That's the first scenario. Go again, have x squared plus 6 and be equal to the second one, 8. So x squared can be equal to 2, isn't it? Then what do? Take the square root of 2. So I can call this x to be equal to the square root of 2 plus or minus square root of 2. The next one, which is the last one, x squared plus 6, can be equal to 9. So x squared can be equal to what? 3. Isn't it? So your x can be equal to the what? Plus or minus square root of 3. So what will be the range? Now we can write the range. We have first one, our range. What will be our range? The first one will be 0, followed by what? Plus or minus root 2. Then followed by what? Plus or minus root 3. Isn't it? So I don't even need to write that, so I can write range. Our range be equal to 0, root 2, and what? Root 3. So this is what our range should give us. Our range should give us something like this. So we are good to go with this. Let's solve example 2. The example 2 is not on range. It is something a bit different. So if we are to look for they said we shouldn't find a question on range for the second question. Yes, we shouldn't. So the first one was to find range. So the next one, okay, I think the first one shouldn't have been range. So we have if the range of, okay, find the domain. Okay, yeah. So sorry. The first one is a domain. We have found the domain. Now the second one, we have to find the domain of that. Then we found the domain. So which, sorry, there was an error in that. Uh, domain should be equal to sorry. So the domain there, our domain from the last question, not the range. Domain should be equal to what? We have 0, we have root 2, and we have root 3. This is our domain. We found the domain by equating our function to our range. Note that. As I define the domain. So take note of that. We go to example 2 quickly. The question says we are finding the range now. Yes. So okay, let me claim this too. So we have 2. Let the function x squared okay, you have the function x squared plus x plus 2 where k is equals to, we have 1 minus 1 2 0 2 5 and 11, and r is a set of real numbers. Yes, everything they belong to the set of real numbers. So let's find the range. How do you find the range? The range means you are looking for the f of each of those set of values of k. The function of each of them will produce the range. Unlike the first one we did, which was the domain, where we had to equate our function to the range to get the values of our domain. Do you get the difference? So here now, what we do is simply find the function of each of the values of k. So we can find the first one is -1. So we have f of -1, and that will be equal to what? Substitute whenever you see x. Initially what we have was f of x, the function, but here we have now f of -1. That will be -1 -1 all squared plus open bracket -1, then you have plus 2. So what do we have? That becomes 1 minus 1 plus 2, and that can be equal to 2. Find another function, f of 0. That will be what? F of 0 will be what? 0 squared plus 0 plus 2. That is still equal to 2. Then we have what? F of 2. Function of 2, we have it to be what? 2 squared plus 2 plus 2. What will that give us? That's 4 plus 2, 6 plus 2, that's 8. Then we have f of what? 5. F of 5 should be what? 5 squared is 25 plus 5 plus 2. That should be 32. Then f of 11. I have 121, 11 squared, 121. Then we have plus 11. Then plus 2. And that will be equal to what? 121 plus 12, 13. Plus 13 That should be 1, 3, 4. So you have 1, 3, 4. So our values, our range, the ranges that we have, the first one, the second, third, and we have the fourth. So here are our range. You can see them. So now you can write out the range. We have 2, we have another 2, we have 8, and we have 1, 3, 4. Simple as that can be. Join me in the next video where I will show for injectivity and subjectivity and how that equates to bijectivity. If both holds, then we say the function of the mapping is bijective. Thank you very much.